Urgent appeal by the President of Ukraine, Volodymyr Zelenskyy, a report from Commander-in-Chief Syrskyi and how operation in Russia Kursk region could shift war's course. The latest news from Ukraine and around the world. Ukrainian forces continued to advance along the entire line of contact in Russia's Kursk region on the 18th of August and have made some progress southeast of the town of Sudzha, Source Institute for the Study of War. Details. Military analysts reported that geolocation videos released on the 17th of August showed Russian troops striking a Ukrainian armored personnel carrier in the north of Martinovka, northeast of Sudzha, indicating that Ukrainian forces had recently advanced there. A Russian military blogger claimed on the 18th of August that Ukrainian forces had captured Troitskaya, south of Koreneva and about 2 kilometers from the border, and advanced to Semenovka, north of Sudzha and about 24 kilometers from the border. Geolocation footage released on the 17th and 18th of August indicates that Ukrainian forces continue to operate throughout the claimed maximum extent of the Ukrainian advance in Kursk region. President Volodymyr Zelenskyy said in his evening video address on the 18th of August that it was necessary to speed up the supply of weapons and ammunition from Ukrainian partners, which in particular requires timely logistics of the announced packages. Quote, I just received a report from Commander-in-Chief Syrskyi regarding the situation in the east of Ukraine, the operation in Kursk Oblast, the exchange fund and the provision of our brigades, our reserves with ammunition and weapons. Our guys are doing great on all fronts. However, there is a need for faster delivery of supplies from our partners. We strongly ask for this. There are no vacations in war. Decisions are needed, as is timely logistics for the announced aid packages. I especially address this to the United States, the United Kingdom and France. About details, Zelenskyy also noted that good results have been achieved on the 18th of August, the results Ukraine needs in the destruction of Russian equipment near Toretsk. However, the president said Russian forces have carried out dozens of attacks near Toretsk and Pokrovsk in just one day. In just one day, there have been dozens of attacks, but our units, our brigades, are doing everything to hold the positions. I thank everyone who is making this possible, Zelenskyy said. He said that the main task of Ukraine's defense actions in general is to destroy as much of Russia's potential as possible and to carry out maximum counterattack operations. This includes creating a buffer zone on the aggressor's territory. Our operation in Kursk region, Zelenskyy stressed. Democratic Senator Mark Kelly stated that Ukraine's decision to counter Russia's invasion by striking within Russia itself could change the course of the war. Syrskyi, Kelly speaking on CBS, faced the nation. Kelly mentioned that 130,000 Russians have had to leave their homes, and at this point in this conflict, I think the Ukrainians did something unpredictable that could really change the tide of how this conflict's gonna play out. There were concerns at the time of Russia's invasion of Ukraine in February 2022 that if Ukraine and its allies extended the war onto Russian territory, it could trigger a regional or global conflict. However, the war had largely reached a stalemate until Ukrainian forces crossed into Russia's Kursk region. Answering the host's question whether he was comfortable with US-provided weapons now being used on Russian soil, Kelly replied that he doesn't mind. Quote, the Ukrainians were illegally attacked by Vladimir Putin. He is intentionally killing women, children, old people. It was an illegal invasion, this incursion, and let's characterize it that way for now. I don't think the Ukrainians want to intentionally hold Russian territory for a long period of time, but this really set Putin back on his heels. At the same time, the American Institute for the Study of War reports the Ukrainian incursion into the Kursk region, like the Russian offensive operations in eastern Ukraine, is not considered a decisive military maneuver that will help win the war. Both Russian and Ukrainian forces cannot conduct decisive operations that will single-handedly secure victory in the war. Instead, they must undertake a series of sequential operations with limited operational objectives that, while not achieving immediate victory, cumulatively may meet strategic goals. According to the authors of the report, Ukraine and the problem of restoring maneuver in contemporary war. wherein Dr. Frederick W. Kagan and Dr. Kimberly Kagan. They suggest that it is too early to assess the consequences and operational significance of the Ukrainian incursion into Russia and the current Russian offensive efforts in eastern Ukraine. Furthermore, the significance of these operations will not emerge in isolation but will be understood in the context of a series of subsequent Russian and Ukrainian campaigns. Both Ukraine and Russia are capable of establishing deep defensive positions and reserves that can prevent any single campaign from achieving strategic war objectives before the conflict reaches its climax. Analysts believe that Russia has sufficient combat power to secure its borders if desired, albeit at the expense of other objectives. Russia and Ukraine can generally create defensive positions at some distance behind the front lines and stabilize the front even in the event of a successful breach. Effective Ukrainian and Russian campaign design therefore requires forethought and planning for multiple successive operations that each set condition for the subsequent operation, the report states. According to its authors, neither side can conduct continuous operations without interruption. At the same time, operational pauses or reductions in operational tempo allow the opposing side to compete and seize the initiative. That's all for today. Thanks for watching this video. Like and subscribe.